Hey guys, it's too hot today to be outside doing anything, so I'm actually putting some new leader on a couple of my rods. Now I've noticed online in the last probably month or so, there's still a lot of people who are questioning what leaders they should use, what knots they should use to tie the leaders. Also people questioning whether they should use leaders, and I think you absolutely should. The other thing is a lot of people have said they've tried the FG knot, which is what I use, and they're still struggling with it. So I'm going to show you today how I tie the FG knot. Now I have hooked some pretty big snags and I have reefed on my line quite a bit, and I can guarantee you if you tie your FG knot this way, it will not break at the knot. Nearly 98% of the time it breaks on the braid. Occasionally it'll break where I've tied my lure on, if my lure's been rubbing on my loop not too long or whatever. But I've never had my line break at my FG knot. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. And guys, I really want to urge, if you use braid, please use a leader. It's more abrasion resistant. So if you get a good cod and it runs around a log, you're not going to get the abrasion on your braid and snap off. They've got a little bit of flex. They're just better on your lure, like where the lure wears. But the main thing for me is that anything that's going to prevent your line from snapping when you've got a fish on, it's going to prevent a fish swimming off with a lure jammed in it, which isn't great for the fish, let's be honest. There's risks, and sometimes that's going to happen. I reckon using a leader can eliminate some of those risks, and I really think that the care of the fish, as much as catching fish is amazing and fun, it's great, the care of the fish is, almost dropped the camera, is just as important, if not more important, than catching the fish. We want to make sure we're looking after them, because if we want to catch them, we've got to have them, and if we don't look after them, we're not going to have them. So we're going to flip the camera around now, guys. I'm going to show you how I tie the FG knot my way, and I guarantee if you do it this way, it's not going to break. And I use this knot on all my gear, from cod gear, which I'm going to show you here, 30-pound braid, 60-pound leader, right down to my finesse, 4-pound braid, 6-pound leader, sometimes 4-pound leader. The FG knot will do it all. It's a friction knot, so let's do that now. Well, for starters, it's easier sitting down, absolutely no doubt in the world. Now, to start this knot, have your rod on the ground pointing away from you. You don't have to sit on the ground, this is just for an example. And you want your braid out the end of your rod back to about where your reel is. Alright, this makes it super easy. So get your leader material. I do anywhere from 1 metre to 2 metres of leader generally. It comes back up through my reel. It doesn't matter with the FG knot because it's a thin knot and the reel will handle it. Having that extra amount means that when you change lures and cut a bit off, it can stay on for longer, but that also does leave you the risk of keeping your leader on for too long. But I like the idea of the extra security if fish goes around a log. You've got 2 metres of line to get around a log, but don't forget to continually check your leader when you're fishing, because you don't want it to snap as well. So I'll just get this out and I'll show you how we go. Now I've got my leader here. It's a bit longer than my rod. My rod's 7 foot, so you know I'm happy with that. Now you fix your rod in position, just in between your feet. Just don't mind my terrible looking feet. You get your braid and you pull it up so your rod's lifted up, and you hold the braid in your teeth. I'm just going to explain some stuff now before I do that, because it's going to be hard to show you while I'm doing it. So you hold the braid in your teeth, then you pick your leader up and you lay it across your braid, and I'll show you what I mean. This is going to be a rough view for you guys, but sorry. So your braid and your weight of your rod is on that. You see it's tight. You're not holding the weight. You're not holding the weight of your rod with your feet. Your feet is just stopping it slipping. You're actually holding the weight with your mouth. And then you lay your leader across. Across like this. About 10 centimetres or more. Right? Move it out so you're not right up against your face. And then come underneath towards you from here. Right? So this is here towards you. And go back out to where you are and pull it tight. And it's It's actually looped around and gone straight, if you can see that. I do exactly the same thing away from me. So underneath the braid, away from me, back over, and I pull it tight until this loop pulls down against the other loop. Then I go towards me and tight until it pulls down to the loop. That's 3. I do that again 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Even numbers, so it ends up away from you. Now, a lot of people do 18, 20, 22, 26 is my number. I like to do 26. So this is my tag end of my leader and my tag end of my braid. This is my leader out this way. So I turn my leader, so that's the way it will run. Leader through to braid. Braid, I'll just adjust that a bit. So braid, straight through to leader. Now, I haven't tied anything, so I'm still holding that knot, and I still have the weight on the line. So I take my tag end of my braid, I go over the top of both. Well, no. I take my braid and I go over the top, my tag end of my braid, and I go over the top of both my braid and the tag end of my leader. And then I come through and I do a hitch over both. And you pull that down, and that one single hitch is what locks your knot in place. So you can see that's locked there. Now this is the most important part of the whole knot right now, is you grab your braid and you grab your leader and you pull it, and it bends. It pulls in tight. Now it's a friction knot, so that friction, the more that you pull on that, the tighter the knot gets. Right? Now I need to do this hitch again. The knot's locked. Last time I went over, so now I'm going to go under to distribute the weight. So I'll do a hitch around both, underneath and through, and pull it down tight, over both, pull it down tight, under both, pull it down tight. I've done 4 hitches. This is something else I also do different to a lot of people, because if you're relying on one hitch, your knot only has to slip the tiniest little bit and it will give way, and I think this is where people make a mistake. It has to slip through 4 hitches, and that's never happened in the history of me using it. I then pull it tight again, and now I actually pull the tag into the braid with my teeth, and then I pull the braid and the leader. So 3 points of contact. My knot's now tied. So I come to a tag end of my leader, just like that, and I cut it off really close, but not too close. A lot of people go real close and you can clip your braid and whatever. Right, I've clipped that off. Where's the camera on the front here? Anyway, it's hard to see, but you might be able to make that out. There's about 2 mil maybe of line sticking out the end. So we pull it back straight, how we had it before, and we do another couple of hitches. So hitch, and remember to go opposite. I can't remember which way I went last time, but I'm going under to start with, so I'll go over next. Now pull your hitch down, right, over that tag end. Oh look, tag end smaller. Go over, pull the hitch down, over the tag end. It's smaller again, underneath. Now, obviously this looks like it's taking me a while, but I'm talking you through this as I go. Once you get the hang of this, it's actually a really quick knot. Right, so I've now hidden the whole tag end, so I'm going to go over again and just pull the hitch down tight. Now what this does is pulls the hitch just on the braid, and I'm doing 4 of these. That actually tapers your line up over the knot, so when it comes through your guides, it's not a problem. Make sure you don't wrap any of your hitches up over another hitch, because that'll make it thicker. Right, and here's the other main difference I do to everyone else, is I pull that with my teeth again, and I cut a tag there of about 5mm. Now that's a braid tag that is not going to hook on anything, but what that allows me to do, and I just do this out of habit, is every now and then I just put my teeth on that while I'm fishing and just pull it tight, make sure nothing slipped. Now that's the knot, guys, that's the whole knot. You can see it's actually not much thicker than the leader is itself, and that will never give way. It has no visible hard tags, just the tag from the braid itself. So it actually doesn't catch on anything, it won't snag on anything, and being a friction knot, the harder a fish pulls on that or a snag pulls on that, the tighter it goes. That knot will never snap when you're fishing. Your leader might, your braid might, that knot never will, and that is a beautiful looking knot. Anyway guys, I hope I've helped you out today. Hopefully, oh gee, I look a bit scruffy. Ugh. Hopefully I've helped you out today. If you haven't been tying leaders, please tie a leader. If you've been struggling with leader knots, give this a crack. See how you go. That's how I like to do it, and I've never had a fault, so hopefully that can help you out.